Hi, my name is
あ、
Neil. I'm with Dorkaholics. In your own words, how would you describe the plot of Drifting Home?
はい、手短に。うん、まあこの夏目っていう女の子、この子がやがては受け入れなければいけない時の変化とともに受け入れねばいけないそういう居場所、その居場所を失うっていうこと、
So,
そ
in
れ
a
を
nutshell, the story is
受け
about
入れ
this
も
girl,
だ
Natsume,
だけれども本
and
当は
her
すぐそばに
process of,
あ
along
った
with the
はずの
passage of time, her process of having
そのなんか
to
新たな
come
居
to
場所、
terms with
その時に
losing
必要だった居場所、
one's
それを見つけ
place
る、
in
そ
order to
うい
discover
う
a new place to
物
be.
語だと思ってます。
As someone who grew up with parents that fought a lot, I was really drawn to Natsume's character, and I found her incredibly relatable. How did the characterization for Natsume come about?
うんうんうんうん。あのまずそうですね、その居場所についての話、やっぱり人って何かしら居場所が
So, in
ない
thinking
とと
about
て
this,
も
in
やって
creating
い
this
けな
character of
いそう
Natsume, what
いう
really
ものだと思うんですけど、
went in the
それ
back
に
of my
対し
mind
て
was,
このキャ
well,
ラクター
for
を通して
to start with,
ど
anybody
う
who's anybody
い
needs a
う
place
形で
where
それ
he or
が
she
映
belongs
し
to
出
a
され
place that
て、
is his or
そう
her
いう
own.
すれ違
And
い
as I said
で
before, this
例
was
え
a
ば具体
character
的
of
に
having to
は
part with that place in
な
order
んだ
to
作中
discover a
は
new
その
one.
や
And
つが行
so
事という
the
前
story of her
を
character arc was really
一緒
about how
に
does
その
she
コウスケと
transition
戦
through,
ってい
how
く
did
ことで
she
すれ違うっ
process
て
this
いう
transition?
ああいうイベントがあったと思うんですけど、
And
そういう
those
ことを
that
そ
all
そ
went
そ
into
そ
like
の具体
tiny
的
little
な
details of,
一つ一つ
for example, when they
あり得る可
visit
能性を
Grandpa
考えなが
Yasuji's
ら
hospital,
そし
and
て
there's a little
そ
bit of
こ
a
がまた
misunderstanding
ど
or a
ういった
falling out with
可能
Kosuke,
性、どうい
and
っ
how
た
does
経過
she
で
nevertheless march
新たな居場所を
forward
見つけていくのか、
through her
それが最終
interactions
的にはコウ
after
スケ
that and her
の
relationship with
言うこ
Kosuke,
と、コウ
and
スケ
how
の寄り添い
Kosuke
方、
little
そ
by
れと
little
してこの
figures
関わ
out a
ってい
way
く
to
わけなんで
support
す
her
けれ
as
ども、
well.
そういう
And in
一つ
depicting
自
these
分の
instances, I really
も
had
し
to
かしたら
reflect
相談しな
upon
がら
my
心で相
own
談しながら作っていくっていう
emotions
そう
and
いう作品で
sentiments
もあり
as
ます。
well.
What ideas or feelings would you like viewers to leave with after watching Drifting Home?
じゃあ僕の方から、
先に
この作品がやっぱりこう誰にでも大切な場所
Right.
があ
So
る
from
っていう
our
ことをテーマにしてい
producer,
るところがあるんです
again,
け
this
ども、
talks
で、まあ、見
about
終わった後に自分
that
もなん
special
かもう
place that
大
we
切なけ
had,
れば
for
こんな
example, in our
大
childhood
切な
that
場
was
所があっ
very
たな
precious
とか
to
って
us.
いう
And
のをこういろ
if
んな
this
ことを思い
film
出してこう改
could
めて見
remind
た
you
り
of that
す
certain
るんですけ
place
ど、ま
and
あ、その中に
sort of
こう入ってこな
infuse
せ
you
るよう
with a
な
sense of nostalgia or attachment towards that place, that would be great.
プラスアルファする形で、まさにもうその夏目と康介がそうであるように、
The director adds on to what the producer says, but through this character of Kosuke and Natsume, I hope that the viewers or the audience members can think about what it is to march forward or to come to terms with a certain truth, for example, and through that process of going forward or that process of growth, it is very important to have someone that you can talk to, someone that you can build a relationship with. And maybe you think you have no one, but someone might be there that you haven't noticed. And if there is a certain someone like that that you can rely on as you go through your transitions, perhaps think about that person after you've watched this film.
For the director, what lessons from your first film, Sunny Boy and the Dewdrop Girl, did you bring into this film?
例えばこの作品、それを作ったことでこの作品に生かされたことが何かあったのであれば教えてください。Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl was indeed the first commercial film that I made. And of course, the personalities and the way they interact with each other, the characters are quite different from this one in Drifting Home. But I think one attitude as a director that I gained or learned to have as a director was that in Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl, it was all about giving myself to the film through the main protagonist. So all of my sentiments, all my thoughts are infused into the main protagonists. And you have to have that, especially when you're working with a large group of people. And so I think I've been able to do that or establish that with this time around with Natsume and Kosuke as well. As complicated the characters they are, I think I've been able to draw from my experiences of doing Sunny Boy and Dewdrop Girl and have been able to utilize that in this one as well.
Thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. I love the film. Thank you.
はい、作品本当に大好きでした。今日はお時間をいただきありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。Thank you.
Thank you.
ありがとうございます。